let me show you guys what they did.
That's concerning, right? I got bad news.
What?
You will need...
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into today's video. I'm Gabe, and today we are going to be doing the part 2 on running E85 on my 5th generation ZL1. Now, if you guys remember in the previous episode, I showed you guys how to install that flex fuel kit. Now, in that episode 1, I was expressing that I was a little bit dubious on how E85 is going to run on my particular car, and if I actually had to upgrade to a bigger fuel injecting system and a auxiliary pump system. Now, we are certainly going to be answering that in this episode, but to start off, we are going to be going to AMP, which is a local performance shop here in Miami, to install this AEM wideband sensor. Now, very simply, a wideband sensor is going to help measure and give accurate readings of the air fuel ratio. Now, is that necessary to upgrade to E85? No, it's not, but it helps, again, you and your tuner get live data of how your car is reacting and to see if there's any changes if you're running too rich or too lean. So after we installed the wideband sensor on the car, we're going to then take it to my tuner, Calvo. Calvo Tuned is going to be tuning my ZL1. And it is there where we're going to discover and to really test out how E85 is going to work with my specific build. Is my car going to be able to run full E85 with my current stock injectors and my current fuel pump? Or will I have to do a 50-50 blend? All right, guys, so enough yapping, let's go. Sometimes I forget that I literally have 650 horsepower. I'm really excited to do this modification, guys, because, you know, I've always wanted to run E85 on the 5th Gen SS, but really never got around to doing it. If you really want to upgrade these cars and make more power, you're going to require more fueling. So, for example, if I want to get a bigger cam for this car, I'm going to need that auxiliary pump or those injectors to really give this car more fuel. All right, guys, so we just made it to AMP. Oh, gotta stretch some legs. Look at how absolutely dirty the car got, man. This looks insane. Draggies up front too. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead inside, speak to the shop owner, make sure the car's checked in, and then I'll keep you guys posted. What's up, guys? So it is the end of the day. I finally have the ZL1 in my hand. AMP, thank you guys so much for working on the car. Okay, so let me show you guys what they did. So here it is. That is the AEM wideband sensor. Right now the view just got a whole lot better with this setup. I love it here. I'm not sure what other gauge to put here because the boost gauge is already down here, even though it's a little bit awkwardly placed. Maybe I'm gonna put like a logo here. So right now the check engine light over there has to do with the O2 sensors that were removed in order to install this wideband sensor. Notice how when the car pops, the fuel that goes into it completely shoots it up over here. Well, guys, this is super exciting, but the video is gonna get a whole lot better. Let's get to tuning this beast. All right, guys, so we are now meeting up with my tuner, Calvo.
Do you look bit around the steering wheel?
Okay.
There you are. Yep. Did I get your old tune file already?
I think so, yeah. So you're saying that an optimal reading should be between high 11s and very low 12s.
A low 12s is acceptable, but it's still like
lean.
I tend to be more conservative on these LSAs and just trying for mid 11s. So I'm looking at the fuel trims. So fuel trims is basically on the O2. I think we talked about it this last time.
Yeah.
On the C6. Seeing how much the O2 sensors are reading and pulling, either pulling fuel out if it's rich or adding additional fuel if it's lean. It looks to be pretty good actually on spec. So IAT's reading good too. IAT's intake air temp.
Okay.
That's what I mean. So there's an intake air temp by the actual intake, right? Which is kind of reads ambient air. But there's also an intake air temperature in the actual, like after the supercharger, you know, goes through and supercharges it and passes through the lid. So it's actually the hot air
me do a little.
Look good.
Yeah?
Yep. Do a little hit. You got a little lean up top, so I think we're gonna have to add some fuel. So it's good.
Okay.
Good idea of the retune. It's too lean for comfort. Basically, the piston, the air, everything like the combustion is hotter, and over an extended amount of time, you know, it's just riskier. Like you get the piston hotter over and over and over and over and over. You know, cycles. There's more chance of a failure if it runs lean, especially on boost. So failures, it could be a cracked piston, you know, a cracked cylinder wall. You might still make a little more power because there's a point where if you run it too lean on boosted cars, your output's going to drop. It's going to run hotter, and it's actually you're not going to make more power. The cruising and the wide open throttle fueling looks good up all the way to 5,500 RPM. There is a possibility that whoever did this, maybe they just did it on the dyno and call it a day. And on the dyno, the fueling might have been perfect, but the load on the street is a little different from the load on the dyno.
Sure.
Some cars, it's exact. Like you do it on the dyno, you put it on the street, the fueling is exactly the same. It's not unreasonable still. Not too bad. It's still within
Safety.
Yeah. So it started to lean a little bit. It was there after like 5,500 RPM. It was like 2% lean, and then it got to the 4s, and then really up top reading got like 10% lean. No, you have the stock values for the no lift shifting.
Really? So it's just a matter of me not redlining it, I guess.
I can modify it.
RPM.
Yeah, they lowered it to 61.
So actually, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise it to 63. Let's add fuel. Now that we have fuel, we should be able to do it safely. This blower up top doesn't like to be spun that high and that hard, and it's just, you're not gonna make power.
This is okay.
Over, you know. So like raising the rev limiter too much more than that, it's like you're just
Dangerous, unnecessary.
It's not needed. Yeah.
Compared to my SS, it always fell short of the red line. It was like, damn, I gotta shift really quick.
Timing wise, it's pretty conservative, which is good. I'm gonna leave it there until we get the fueling ready, and then maybe we can add a little more spokes.
The tune that I have now, on all the components of what it makes a tune, how good is it on a scale of 0 to 10?
I want to say maybe 8, but that lean thing on the top, that's concerning, right? That's the area that we most wanted to have the extra fuel, and it didn't have the extra fuel. So it's very smart that you know
Came in.
Yes. I'm gonna commend a little more out of the pump. I got bad news.
What?
You will need bigger injectors.
Yeah?
Yeah. You're literally after 5,000 RPMs, the injectors are fully open. Like they can't open anymore.
Okay.
So I got a mod for you. But let's see if your flex fuel sensor is working. It is. Good job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and see if I can get a little more fuel out of it by driving the pump a little harder. Yeah, you're on stock injectors. They're maxed out, dude.
The rev limiter is at 6,300?
Yeah, but like I wouldn't even take it that high, because the higher you go, the leaner it's gonna be.
Okay, so I'll just do a mini pull then.
Yeah. We're able to get more fuel. For the next one, try and go to 16.
6,000? All right.
Yeah. Better, but not enough to really get into the 11s. So what's happening to your setup is you are literally out of injector, so meaning the duty cycle is over 100%. So that means that the injector is fucking open all the way. It cannot open anymore. It's just open. So at that point, you can give more fuel.
That is the news that I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to prove it right, but it is what it is. Any last words, sir?
Injector time.
So essentially guys, we're gonna have to conclude part 2 with a transition to part 3, which is when I actually upgrade. Only then will we be able to uncover how much more power can this put out. Stay tuned for part 3. If you guys like this video and found it informative and entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button. If you guys like the content overall and you just want to see more of this build, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos with this cars or any other cars on the channel. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.